I'm Kelly, and welcome to Kelly Loves Books and Movies. Today, I'm talking about the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, 2.0. Now, as you might know, I tried to do it last year, the first version, and somewhere along the line, I think I just got frustrated and I gave up, sort of. I mean, I still read stuff, but I didn't stick to trying to finish that, and that was a mistake. I think some of my, when my slump happened, it's because I wasn't doing that anymore and I didn't have, the things to work towards. So I think I just got frustrated because I knew I wasn't going to get like a whole bunch of bingos, and I was like, well, then why do it anyway, which was the wrong attitude. So, QWERTY, Q, as you all know her as, has put together 2.0, and I am going to do it, and I'm going to stick with it for one whole year. So technically it starts July 7th and goes through July 6th of next year, but I'm just going to start, and you can really start whenever. I am starting July 1st to go through June next year, just because I want the nice, hard, firm start at the beginning of a month. Okay, so what is 2.0? What are the prompts? What am I going to do? Here we go. All right, and this year there are different prompts, obviously, and some changes. There's a bingo board like last year, or you could just do a point system. And I'm going for the bingos, but as you're keeping track, you'll get points. So obviously, I'll see how many points I wind up with at the end of the year as well. Okay, so these are the prompts on the bingo board. First up, by the 100s. And this is, you read 7 books of various lengths. So there's like one book from 1 to 199 pages. The next one, 200 to 299 pages. 300 to 3, you get the gist. So up to 700 plus. And yeah, so 7 books there, some of them are long, and I don't know if this is really cheating or not, but you will find out in my next wrap up that I kind of stopped reading Lonesome Dove. I'm about 100 pages in, and then when this came up, I'm like, I am going to save this for my 700 plus page book for the challenge. So yeah, even though I technically started it already by like 100 and some pages, I'm still going to count it for my 700 page book in this prompt. Maybe slightly cheating, but I'll finish it within the July. So, all right. Second prompt. I'm looking on my picture on my phone. Okay. As many as you can in 24 hours. Now, this is kind of like last year's, I think it was Read 3. I don't remember, but you had a 24-hour period. But anyway, this is take a day to read as much as you can. Challenge yourself to read 3 or more, but you can use any format that works for you. Then submit the book. And it's from like, it isn't like 24 hours, go to bed at night and get up in the morning. It's like when you start until you finish. You can have breaks and stuff, but like, if you go to bed at 2 a.m., that's it. You can't get up at 6 and read till 7 for whatever. But, the rules, who's going to know? It's all you. Nobody's checking your answers. Okay, next up. I'm skipping around a little bit because the white prompts are pretty hard and fast, and then the purple prompts are kind of more leeway in what you choose. So I'm going through the white prompts first. Okay, second white prompt, Series Stairway. This is start and finish stories. And you got to read a standalone. Then you read a duology, so 2 books in, and then a trilogy. So you got to read 3 books in a trilogy, and then you got to do the quadrilogy or 4 of a long series. Oh, that's the rule. It says 4 of a long series. So, oh, never mind. I already started this here. Okay. Anyway, so that's it. You got to read a standalone, 2, a 3, and then a 4. That is the series Stairway. And then the next white prompt is, I don't know what I'm going to do for those. I have a duology in mind and a standalone, obviously. I don't know, trilogy or a long series. I mean, there's a bunch of series I want to start, so, oh, that's right, I have the Monkeys Raincoat I haven't started yet, but that's a series and a long series, so I could read the first 4, and we're good for that. Awesome. That might be what I do. All right. Next prompt is the last 10 years. So you have to read a book, well, because this starts in July and goes through June. You either start 2015 through 2025, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, each year those published, or start, if I wait till next year to start, it can be 16 through 26. So a book for every year in the last 10 published years. Last 10, that has been, it's been a long day. A book that has 1 book for each of the past 10 years of publishing. So 15, 16, I don't think I'll have a problem with that. And then the next one, all the adaptations. So this is one where you don't have to read. You can watch. So we have to do a modern books are okay. You may either read the original source material or read or watch the adaptation. So you get bonus points for doing both if you're doing the points. All right. So a modern book retelling of a classic, a TV show, a musical, a web series, a graphic novel or comic, or animation. So that's how many, like you could just watch a TV show, animation, play, or movie. So I could read a play that's based on something else. I could watch a play based on, that's an adaptation. So that's a lot. And I can just watch the movie. I don't have to read the book. So I could read a movie that's based on whatever book. So, and not have to read the book too. So that will be good. Next white prompt. Disability representation. Read 5 books with protagonists with different disabilities. They can be mental or physical, but cannot be repeated. So that's 5 books. I'm not really sure what I'll do there, but I'm sure I will find plenty. The next up is Heritage Month. So for each of these months, you have to read a book that fits. So we have Black History, Arab Heritage, Indigenous Heritage, Women's History, Jewish Heritage, Hispanic Heritage, LGBTQ plus Pride, Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage, and Disability Pride. So a book for each of those. And bonus if you do them during those months. Now I probably will not, some of them I will, but I might not get all of them in the actual months. Then the next one is Translation Challenge, translated works. Read 5 books that were translated from 5 different languages. That will probably not be a problem for me because, I got Frederick Bachman to read. That's Swedish. I have a nonfiction that's Norwegian that I'm going to read soon. That will fit that. I'm still trying to get to the Claudia Pinheiro books. There's a translated, so things I normally would be reading, a lot of it will fit into places here, but I will also have to spread out and try new things. Next up, the Around the World Challenge. Read a book, set, or the author is from each of the continents. If by chance, So, all the continents. And then this is Antarctica is not required, but would absolutely get you an extra point. I mean, there's not a lot of fiction that takes place in Antarctica, but there's definitely a lot of nonfiction. So that I don't know. I certainly think it won't be as hard to get Antarctica as you think. All right, moving on. Switch to my next page of notes. All right, the even bigger rainbow. Now, in the first version, this was a prompt. You read a book for all the certain colors. Their cover is that color. The majority. I mean, it doesn't have to be all that color, but the predominant color of the cover. This is what you read. So, last year we had red, orange, yellow, green, teal. Well, wait a minute. I don't remember which ones of these were on last year and which ones were not. But there's more to it than last year. So these are the colors. Red, orange, yellow, green, teal, light blue, purple, pink, black, white, gold or silver or both, and then a cover with more than 7 colors. It should fit into, what I read anyway, but the next one is spooky creatures, and this one is going to be the challenge for me, for sure. So this is to read a book that contains, that feature all of these creatures in some way. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 8. Vampires, shifters, magic users, fae folk, spirits, merfolk, zombies, or other creature. So you have to fly. Read a book that features each one of those things. And again, not a fantasy reader, so some of these are going to be a challenge. Some of these, and I mean, I don't mind vampires, but I'm kind of sick of them. Like, they're in everything. Can we get books that aren't vampires? But lots of people love vampire books, so whatever. More power to you. All right, next up, the Avatar Challenge. This is the 4 elements: water, earth, fire, and air. So you read a book with either those on the cover or in the title. So something with water on the cover or water in the title, earth, fire, and air. Extra challenge to do all covers or all titles, which is probably what I'll do. All one or the other. Probably all titles. That would be more fun. Then next up is the animal challenge. So you have to read books that feature these in some way, either being on the cover or the story itself. We got house pets, exotic pets, farm animals, wild animals, or zoo animals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books that feature one of those things, either cover or in the story. Next up, the bigger queer alphabet. Okay, I can't pronounce. Anyway, last year we covered the basics, but this year we're adding more. So gay, lesbian, bisexual, pansexual, trans, intersex, asexual, polyamory, non-binary, or gender fluid. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books there. Some of them will be easy. Some of them will not. Or not easy, not easy to find, but yeah, some of them. And I think it has to be the protagonist, so yeah. Okay, cool. Next, BIPOC authors. We have to read 10 books by 10 different authors from backgrounds that differ from your own. Again, not too difficult to find and do. Do they all have to be 10? Like if I read, I'd have to check the rules on that. Like I suppose if you read a book from, well, yeah, it won't be too hard, I don't think. In general, other than there's 10 more books. New releases is back. That's the next thing. I did like this one. You read a new book read a book in the month it's released. But now the rules are a little more flexible. You can read it within 60 days of its publication. So that means like if the book came out July 30th, you have until, whenever to read it. And this helped either before or after. So people who were getting ARCs, they could count it because they read it ahead. But also, if it came out on July 30th, I didn't have to read it in a day. Because if it was something I really wanted to read, and you didn't have to read it in a day, I still want to do it within 30 days, and I'm still going to try to do it within the month. But if there's something that comes out the last 2 days of a month, and it's something I really want to read, I will take advantage of that 60 days. All right, next up, the nonfiction challenge. Lots of people read fiction, but they don't read a lot of, what is this called? Nonfiction. Again, long day. All right, so you have to read 5 nonfiction books of 5 different topics or genres. Basically, don't just read celebrity biographies or only self-help books. So that actually won't be that hard for me. If I pretty much do that anyway. All right, and then the last white prompt is Q's recommendations, and she says, I recommend a lot of books and post tons of reviews. Is this a shameless plug for you to watch my videos? Maybe. Read a recommendation from each of my means of reviewing. So Cozy Mini Review, full reading vlog, or any of her TikTok reels or shorts. So yeah, that's 3 books that she has reviewed in 3 different ways. So again, probably not too hard. All right, then on to the purple prompts on the bingo board. These are just a little more flexibility. Also, I should mention, last year the purple prompts meant you could were books you could double out. Like if you used something in the purple prompt, if you used a book, say you read Moby Dick and it fit somewhere in a purple prompt and a white prompt, you could use it also in a white prompt. But this year, you just in general can use a book for 2 different prompts. So if I read Moby Dick and it fits in, it obviously would fit in the animal prompt, and maybe it would fall into around the world, and I could count it for North America or whatever. So I could count it in 2 places. So every book I read, if it fits into, I can fit it into 2 squares, 2 prompts. Last year only some books I could count twice. And you can't do rereads either, but I don't rereads very often, so although last year I know that if it's been many years, like if it's been decades since you read something, it's not really counted as a reread, it's counting it as reading it the first time. All right, purple prompts. Subgenres. Pick any main genre and read 6 different subgenres from it. That's kind of, and then she has just as examples, fantasy, romance, sci-fi, literary, horror, historical, mystery, thriller, nonfiction. Now I could figure 6 subgenres in nonfiction, and maybe 6 subgenres romance. I don't know. I don't necessarily know how. I guess there's probably lots of subgenres and I'm just not thinking of them as subgenres, but it probably won't be a difficult thing to do in general, but I'm thinking romance. How many 6 subgenres of romance? I guess. It works, I guess. Next up, award season. Pick any book award out there and read books from each level of the competition. You must total 7 books and read at least 1 from each stage that the competition provides. If the competition only announces winners, you may choose multiple awards to cover all 4 categories. Not quite sure which I'm going to do yet, but I'm thinking about the Women's Prize for Women's Prize and combining fiction and nonfiction, if that'll work. I don't know. I haven't thought too deeply about this one, but there are plenty of prizes to choose from. And then TBR challenge. So many creators have made their own TBR game, and they all seem like a blast to play. Choose one you've never played before and read whatever books you get from that game. Games can be from any creator, but show your love to whoever you choose, and they do not have to be games the creator is currently using. Now this one, I'm not sure, because if you all know some good games out there, creators that have some really good TBR games out there that don't make there being a bazillion books on, make me read, they don't, you know, have hundreds of books, you know. There's already a lot of books here. I think the only person, I think Ellen, you kind of do a book, sometimes do a TBR challenge game, and maybe you did a long time ago. And then Nicole at Noteworthy Fiction, she does one where she picks like 4,000, uses it to pick like 4,000 pages for her to read. But if you all know of any other interesting TBR games people play, let me know in the comments, because this one I'm going to have trouble with otherwise. I mean, I'll find something, I guess, but... Next up, make a quote. Pick your favorite quote, or any quote if you're like me and can't remember a quote to save your life, which is kind of me. And use books to write it out word by word. You can use any word in the titles, or if need be, the author's name. It does not have to be a literary related quote. It can be a silly meme for all I care. I am doing, well, I have two ideas. I don't know which one I'm going to choose. They're both somewhat short. The first one, quote I have, and I actually put in my spreadsheet to track, is hope. It's the hope that kills you, which is from Ted Lasso, and it's about, you know, getting in all, you know, being disappointed by your sports teams all the time, and then all of a sudden they get good, so you get hope, you get all sort of hopeful, and then of course they let you down. It's the hope that kills you. Being a Minnesota sports fan, it's pretty much the way we are all the time. The hope kills us all the time. So that one, or I'm also considering, I am big, it's The Pictures That Got Small from Sunset Boulevard. One of those two I probably will. I mean, they're both somewhat short, so I'm trying to do a quote that doesn't give me another dozen books to read. All right, next up, Readathon Challenge. We heard you like readathons, so we put together a readathon in your readathon. So basically it's to take part in a readathon, some challenge, and do all the prompts in the challenge, although you don't necessarily have to complete it within the time frame of that exact readathon. Now, I'm thinking, because I was already thinking of doing this anyway, Rocket Summer in July. I think I'm going to do that, and this is probably what I'm going to do for this prompt. But I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll see. Next prompt is I miss Herkid 1. Choose your favorite prompt from the first round of Herkid and complete it again. However, you may not reread the same books, obviously. My first thought was to do the prompt that's go to your local independent bookstore or a local independent bookstore and read a book from their local author section, because that's only one book. But I actually really liked the prompt, the Four Seasons prompt, where read a book about that takes place in a season in said season. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So I'll read a summer book, a spring book, a fall book, winter book in those seasons. I like that one. That probably was my favorite, so that's what I'm going to do. Personal challenge. We all have different reading goals in our lives. Take this opportunity to challenge yourself to complete one of them. I don't know what my personal challenge is. I'm going to have to think this up pretty quickly. I mean, because I don't really have one. I mean, I always have a challenge to read so many books a year, but since this is split up over 2 years, 2 calendar years, that doesn't really work. I'm thinking I might... I have certain authors that I've, in my head, have always been, okay, I'm going to read everything they've written. But I don't really know how my personal challenge is yet, so I'll have to come up with one. It might be to read everything of an author. I just haven't picked what author yet. We'll see. I don't really know. And is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, that's all of them. So it's going to be a lot again, and I have to recognize that I may not get all. That's where I think I may not get all the bingos. Might not even get a bingo or all the things on the. I mean, blackout bingo is your goal, but the point system is basically just seeing how many points you can get. So I won't feel as pressured. Like if I'm behind, I still can get like I did the last time, but we'll see. I'm going to stick with it this year, though. That should be my personal challenge. Stick with the challenge. That doesn't work for this, but yeah. Anyway, so, and if y'all are doing this too, let me know. Otherwise, book recommendations for some of these challenges. If you got them, let me know. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.